right, Kelly. So what we are going to do this morning is we are going to start with our Mojo calls, right? Plays out. So let's start from our home screen, right? This is my high desert investing. This is my LLC for my wholesale group. I call out of this for listings. I call out this for wholesale transactions as well. Okay. So all these are warm calls. So they're all set up from my VAs and whatnot. They drop them in, or warm calls from website leads, etc. So we'll hit this. We have 18 calls for today. So I went to calendar here. I clicked on the calendar, and then I'm going to click my follow-up calls, right? So I think one of the really important things, you got to make sure that you have the right caller ID in here. Your voicemail is set up, which is my follow-up voicemail, which basically just says, hey, this is James Mitchner with Realty One Group and High Desert Investing. I was calling about the property that you're potentially looking to sell. If you have any questions, please call me back at my phone number, etc. The quick end is I do 3-line dialing, right? So when multiple people pick up, the quick end will pick up for those people that had picked up and say, hey, this is James Mitchner, how are you? And then I'll drop the call, right? So once I'm done with the call that I'm on, it goes back to the one that was dropped and then picks up from there for me. Here you can set up a certain amount of rings, right? 4 to 7. I do 6. Any more than 5+ is the best way to go about it, so people can actually get to their phone, right?
Yep.
You can schedule this out by not dialed ever, custom, today, 24 hours. I'm going to leave it the way it is. You can have like a lead sheet.
What is that?
Oh, this just helps you organize. So say, for instance, it's Thanksgiving week, right? And you're only going to be working 1 day or 2 days a week. So you want to plug in your entire week's follow-up calls for that week. What I do in that case is I put not called within 24 hours so that it's not going to double dial every single person that's in there multiple times, because I have somebody in there slated every single day that I need to follow up with them, but I don't want them to be called 5 times in the one session because I pulled it up for the entire week of calls, right? So it'll just call them in the one time.
Got it.
And this is good if you go into, like, say, probates and estates, right? And you're at the beginning of the list, but you don't want to recall all those. So, and because you had hit that list before, so you hit 24 hours, that'll make sure that you don't call those people that you had called before.
Okay. That's great to know.
Then you have your lead sheet, which is for sale by owner, expired.
If I ever walk like this, I'm just letting my dog in my room.
Oh, no, you're fine. And then you have your pre-qualifier, right? So those are just scripts to help you lead by, or like to help fill out the information for it. I just use the little notepad myself so that I can take a picture of it, send it to my VA, or have it in a file folder for myself. Calling scripts, you can pick any of these, right? So we have Courtney, which is my ISA. She does these. Then we have Jesse's for sale by owner script, for rent by owner, stuff that I set up with him on those. I don't use the script because I don't need to read one any longer, because it's already there. Once you do 100 of these calls, you'll know exactly what to do. Yeah. So it becomes much easier. Then you have your automatic show calling script, your only mark call results as contact as completed. So I like that because then I know if I've actually talked to them, right? Then you can take out the DNC phone numbers if you want to. The mobile numbers, completely up to you if that's something you want to do. So you have start to click, so where you can click on each individual one, or you can do the power dialer, right? So if you click this, it'll show you all the leads, and you can just click on it and it'll start calling that lead, right? And you can go one by one by one. I like the triple line dialer because it gives me more people to talk to. So we're going to hit that right now and go through it. So this is Mojo. This is going to show us how many leads we have, which we have 18 of these. Hey, now we're going to start calling. So when I hit that, it's going to dial all 3 of these, right?
Yeah.
It's going to show me the time I've called, the total daily contacts, total daily leads, DNC numbers, voicemails dropped, and no contacts, right? So Click this, and here we go. Looks a little intimidating at first, but it's not bad.
Voice messaging system.
So
9,
I got a
2,
voicemail.
8, 8, 9, 9, 6, 8, 9, 0. It's
So
not
what I'm gonna do
available.
is I'm gonna drop the voicemail.
At the
right there.
tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording.
Now my VAs and my texters are gonna be hitting those guys as well, right? And then I have an ISA that's gonna hit them also.
What is that? The ISA?
Inside sales associate, so
Okay.
they dial through there.
System 9, 2, 8, 8, 1, 4, 4, 1, 3, 0 is not available. At tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording,
So I'm gonna
you may
drop
hang up
another
or press 1.
voicemail. So actual person.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, Juan.
0, 2 is not available. The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
So see, his voicemail wasn't set up or is full. So what's good is we have a texter that'll go in and text that.
And that's what I was just going to say. So for you have a texter. So you have somebody just focusing on texts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything I should do with text? Like,
Yeah, so if you have a warm lead, you should absolutely write down who those warm leads are, go in and text message those, right?
and that's just by hand.
That's just by hand. Yeah. I mean, there's systems, but I don't want you to spend a whole bunch of money right now. Just do the sweat equity stuff.
Yep. And do you have a recommendation for what to
Hello,
text?
good morning, Michael.
Yeah,
Hey, good morning. This is James Mitchner. How are you this morning?
I'm alive.
Yeah, well, good, good. I wanted to reach out to you. You had gone into one of my websites and put in some information that you were looking to maybe sell your home off of us.
It's already on the market.
It is. Okay, perfect. Which agent did you pick, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, good, good. And the website that you had logged on said that you were maybe looking for a cash offer from an investor. Is that correct? Nobody ever responded to that. Okay, so you went with the real estate agent. Okay, what kind of financing or what kind of cash offer were you looking for? I know that you're listed right now at 340,000. You're 1,500 square feet. If you were to take a cash offer, are you willing to do any creative financing, like carrying the loan or doing a wrap with that, or are you just looking to get purely cashed out of the house?
No, I'm cashing out because I'm gonna buy another house in New Mexico.
In New Mexico. Okay, perfect. The price for a cash offer, what would you take for that, if you don't mind me asking?
No less than 320.
No less than 320. Okay, perfect. And then how soon could you close on this?
I don't know. That wouldn't be up to me.
Well, if the buyer could close in like 2 weeks, would that be something you'd be willing to do?
Possibly.
Okay, perfect. So I will take a look at this then and see what we can do. Have you had many showings on the house so far?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot? Okay, good, good. So you're getting some good action on that. Perfect.
I got 3 today alone. I had 3 yesterday, and it just went on the market on Saturday.
Oh, it did. Okay, good, good, good. So let me do this then. I will be in touch with you. If something is to change, please don't hesitate to take my name and phone number down. Okay. I'm with High Desert Investing. We work with investors and buy houses, fix and flips, rentals, etc. Okay.
Okay, yeah, your name's on my phone.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate that, Michael.
All right, have a good one.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that's a little tough, right? For me, because we paid for that lead. So now I need to see who did that lead go to, because he said nobody got in touch with him. So I have to see why did that happen.
And when you say you paid for that lead, do you mean from that other website that you mentioned, Kai?
I'm trying to find out who that came from.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So like in a situation like that, when they say they already listed it, my being where I'm at, my knowledge would be like, hey, if it ends up not selling, keep my
Yeah.
number, contact me, and I have the ability to potentially get you an all cash offer, creative financing, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yep. So I followed up with my team on this. I'm gonna open up the lead and follow up boss and just kind of see what we did to try to get a hold of him
Got it.
quick.
So you and your team do work through follow-up boss.
We do. Yep, they do. Yep. So Mike, this is Andrew. I was reaching out in regards. I'm a local cash. So we did reach out to him November 4th via text and did call him as well on November 4th also, but never followed up any more than that. So just beginning, you want to make sure that all those leads that you're getting in are being followed up with as much as possible. So
Yeah.
for instance, he should have been called. I called him 10 times though, like I literally have him in my Mojo that I called 10 times. So
Oh my
sometimes
gosh.
sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. He's saying
Yep.
that nobody called him, but we called him 10 times.
You're like, I have evidence that I called you.
Yeah, and that's nice. That's reassuring for myself, right?
Yeah.
But it's still, I mean, for lack of a better word, pissing me off a little bit because
Right.
hard and it costs money to do this. So
But that's what I want to make sure of right from the beginning, that I'm getting these correct follow-up
yep.
methods down.
And again, every single day, text call, text call, text call. And especially in the beginning, like the first 3 days, they have to be hit over and over and over again, which is what my team will be going over again with this.
And did you think asking them to keep them on an email list is a good idea? Waste of time? Have you ever done it?
Because he's already listed with a real estate agent, I don't push super hard because I have my license as well. And if they think of it as I'm trying to poach that listing, I don't want that to happen. So
There seems to be so much
Hey, good morning,
competition.
Chuck. How are
You
you?
have finished recording.
Oops.
You may hang up or press 1 for more options.
I was just going to say that there was so much competition between people, but I did go meet 2 wholesalers, one of which has his own office here in Portland. He was super, super nice, super giving. And his advice was just get to the phones.
Yeah,
Get to the phone. Get
Yeah.
to the phones. Get to the phones.
you have to.
Hmm.
So this guy I followed up with a few times. He's a canceled listing right here that you can see.
Yep.
But he's got a good piece of land with the house on it. So I'm trying to.
Have you ever done the land wholesaling too?
Yeah.
Land flips?
We made 30 grand last month off of one piece of land.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that's something I'm definitely curious about.
I think they're great. I mean, if you can pull a list through any of those lead sources that I sent you for pulling those, then
Yeah.
and it's just land, that's an easy call. For one, nobody
I'll
lived
keep an
there,
eye
right?
out.
Yeah.
This with the list that I ended up downloading, getting it down to just under 5,000.
Yeah. So it didn't pick up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button right here, redial, right? Then I'm going to hit next contact and it'll redial that same phone number that got picked up, but nobody said anything.
Got it.
And right here, I'm going to highlight this. We're at 4 calls out of 16.
Okay. For the list that I got down to just under 5,000, I ended up doing 100% equity.
Yeah.
And then I figure when I run out of that, then I can keep going less and less equity.
Correct. Yep. You probably don't want to do any less than 40% though.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hello, Jessica. Hi, Jessica.
0.
Hey, so we dropped the voicemail.
And when I'm dialing in the morning, when I'm calling people in the morning, say I don't get them, and then I have that time in the evening to do it, it's okay to recall them, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you should. Yep. And it takes a lot of calls like this to get there.
And this is so good to see that, because, if I started experiencing this,
Mhm. Hi, Matt.
23326.
yeah, it's so good to see just what it actually is. Like, this is it.
Yeah. Yep.
This is what it will be for a while, and that's that.
Yeah. And for a while isn't like a bad thing, right? Like it's gonna, because it starts building up and you start getting warmer leads, you start really getting some stuff. We got a contract signed. That was a good one. That was a referral from one of the title companies that we use, that we run a lot of our wholesale deals through.
So nice. And
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say before too, with the title company. After our call, and when I'm getting into the talking to realtors later, which I expect realtors to answer a lot more than these calls, but I have 2 title people that I connected with.
Hi, Deborah.
At the tone, please.
Hi, Jessica.
I think you got the wrong number.
Okay, are you by chance the owner of
No.
okay, do you own any property here in Arizona, or
I'm not from Arizona, so you got the wrong number.
okay, sorry about that. Have a good day, okay?
Yeah, bye.
So I'm gonna mark that as a DNC number because I don't want that to come back up on any other lead. But did you see I still ask those questions? Like, are you still? Let me see.
Yep.
Hi, Jamie. Jamie? Hello? Okay, so I hit redial. I'm gonna redial that one again. Because in the notes it said that she was maybe looking to list in 10 days or so. 8,
Oh,
10
wow.
days.
And I needed to do.
Hey,
Oh.
Hi, Jamie. Hey, Jamie. Are you there? Hello? So I put her in to call her back in 10 minutes.
Okay.
She had mentioned that she wants to sell, so and list, so I'm gonna keep following up. It's already in my follow-up boss system with Chris.
And while we're waiting, I did the, sorry.
Hi, Michael. Good morning.
Available.
Hi, Kim. Good morning, Kim.
When you have finished recording, you may hang up or.
Well, hopefully we can get somebody on the phone so you can see how I do the questions and go through it.
Yeah, but even this, and if we don't, maybe we can just do pretend.
Hi, Kate. Hello, Kate. Are you there?
Hello.
Hey, good morning, Kate.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning. This is James Mitchner. How are you?
Good. You?
Good, good. Hey, I got a quick question for you. One of my team members had called you about the 5 acres that you have there in it's in Chino Valley, right? It's zone residential.
Yeah, I'm not interested in selling it. I'm kind of busy right now, so I'll call you in a little while.
Okay. When would be a better time to try you back? Okay. So obviously I'm gonna ask him. He's in my follow-up again, so for every single day, and I'm going to keep it that way, right, Kelly? Because here's the thing, the way that he said, oh, I'm busy right now, that just is today's mindset for him, right? That's not tomorrow's mindset, that's not next week's mindset, that's just today. So tomorrow he
Yep.
might have a better day. Mondays can be hard for people, so they have so much
Right.
going on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the next number, because maybe I can get Paige on the phone and talk to her. It's convenient for me to talk right now. Maybe it's not convenient for them to talk right now, So the phone was made for the convenience of the person having the phone, not the one making the call. So I always try to empathize with people when it comes to this stuff. Oh.
And that reminder of, in that moment, how they're feeling could be different one moment to the next 30 minutes, the next day.
Exactly.
For that person who was busy right in the moment, would it be cool? Would it be okay to text them and just say, hey, when you do have time, and if you do want to talk, call me at your convenience.
Yep, I think that'd be perfect. And at the stage of the game that you're in, that's perfect. For me,
Yeah.
like I have Obviously, this appointment I'm with you right now, I have other people lined up to do that for us for the
Right.
team. But then I have another appointment right after this one, so it's just, so I'm taking notes as I'm doing that and then trying to hit those back or start delegating that stuff as time goes on, so. Hey, Vern. Good morning, Vern.
More options.
So,
But if I see for sale by owners signs out there, like definitely connect with that person, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because they're already raising their hand, right? They want to sell. Hi, Paige.
Yes.
Hi, Paige. This is James Mitchner. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. I just got a quick question. I know this call is completely out of the blue. But one of my team members, I called you about the 5 acres that you own in Chino. And said that you're maybe looking at selling that still. Is that correct?
Yes, possibly.
Okay, perfect. What kind of, do you already have it listed for sale by owner, or do you have a, do you have a contract on it already? Like, is it under escrow?
No.
It's not. Okay. And what's the price that you're asking on that, if you don't mind me asking?
175.
175. Okay, so I got a bunch of like conflicting data, right? So I have that there's 5 acres for sale, and that the price was going to be 180 in the notes, and then I pulled it up on Zillow and it shows 160 for 2 acres and that it's pending, and that's 5025 Dos Arios Drive in Prescott. Is that right or no?
The house that we live in, the 5 acres that we have in Chino, is off of Center Street.
Oh, it's off Center Street. Okay, and you're looking for 175 on that, is that right?
Where did you find that it was listed for 180?
Well, that's just the notes that my team member had in Mojo.
Yes, it is 180.
It is 180. Okay, perfect. How soon are you looking to sell that? Don't mind me asking.
Sorry, you keep breaking up. What was that?
Oh, no, it's okay. How soon are you looking to sell that? The piece of land?
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible. Okay. And then the 180, if you were to take a cash offer and we were able to pay the closing costs, there would be no commissions and whatnot. What kind of price would you be willing to take for that? Because we are investors, so. Okay. Okay. Let me just take a look. So 180. And then it's 5 acres. Let me see. Don't worry, I have 2 kids myself, so I get what you're doing. How that's going. So if we were able to do a cash offer of like 95,000 on that, would that be something that would work for you if we covered all the commissions and closing costs on that?
What was the price you said?
95,000.
No, probably not.
Okay. Do you want to run some numbers by your husband on that and kind of see where he would be?
Guarantee you he's not gonna go for that.
Okay. What if we were able to do like, I mean, probably a max that we'd be able to go to is 115. Would that be something that would work for you?
No.
Okay. So I do run a real estate team as well here in town. Have you guys considered putting that on the market and getting top dollar through retail?
Yeah, we're working with her. Yet.
Okay, perfect. Would you be willing to do another interview, or are you pretty set on that agent that you're going to be working with?
If someone came in with a full price offer, then we can. But right now, we're in the process of possibly putting a modular home on it and selling it that way.
And selling it that way. Okay. And one thing that you had mentioned is that you had a real estate agent that you were talking to about this as well. Have you looked into maybe talking to like 1 or 2 other agents just to make sure that you're getting the right marketing on it? You're going to get the most amount of money for it.
Yeah, and he's a local too that's been in the business for 25 years. So
okay, so you're pretty set with that agent, is that correct?
yeah.
Okay, all righty. Well, thank you for your time. If you don't mind, just saving my phone number as James Mitchner, home buyer. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Paige. Have a good day. Okay.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, Kelly, what questions do you have about that one?
Yeah,
that
that's
took-
awesome.
That took
Aw-
like 5 calls, right, to get to that one person.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how awesome that she had land and the house.
Yeah.
Um,
The house was already under contract though, unfortunately.
and so when you took it to I was trying to see the original price. You took it down to 95,000, because that's what I have to get good at too, obviously, is once I get somebody on the phone, pulling their property up and assessing and knowing exactly how much I can offer them. So can you work through your process of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I do is I take that 180 and then I multiply it by 0.6, right? So when I go, that gives me, I think it gave me 108,000. So 180
And
times
0.6 because 60%.
60%. Yep. And then I just discounted it a little bit more to see if I could get that right at 195,000, just kind of feel them out. Because if I shot my best shot in the beginning, like, and they're like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Right. Then I maybe left some money on the table for that.
So always low ball, always go low.
Well, I mean, if you're doing wholesale, you have to, right?
Yeah.
So you have to find, you're not calling people to make them motivated. You're calling people to find motivated, right? So,
Yeah.
so my job is to find somebody that's actually motivated to sell this. And then when that didn't work and we kind of went back and forth, both her and her husband were pretty short. She had the baby in her lap, and so that made it a little bit more difficult. But my true reason for calling was to see if I could like get a good deal on this property or list it. And then as soon as we started talking about the listing, when she's like, hey, I already have somebody that's been in the business for 25 years. And for a piece of land, like, I'm not going to push that hard when somebody's that blank, because I have so many other deals I'm working on. And I'd rather work with somebody that's going to be motivated a little bit easier. So I'd rather spend a little bit more time on the call than to try to turn somebody into working with me when it's just a piece of land like that. So
Got it.
Yep.
And then would you be interested in creative financing? And again, I don't know enough about creative financing. I know the basics, but to say, are you interested in sub 2, seller finance, all these other things that I still need to learn more about?
Yeah. So when you say sub 2 and whatnot, you need to explain stuff as if it's a 14-year-old with a 3rd grade education, right? Because that's really what most people have when it comes to real estate. Is if you throw out sub 2 and you say owner financing and whatnot, basically what you would want to say is, hey, are you open to, if you can't get a conventional loan on this or a cash offer, are you open to carrying the papers, right? Or would you be open to somebody taking over your loan for you? So if you go, hey, would you be open to creative financing such as a owner carry, or would you be open to, or sub 2? They'll be like, well, what do you mean by owner carry, right? Or what do you mean by sub 2? So you want to break it down as basic as possible. When you say creative so when you're on the conversation and say we're on the call together, right? And you and I are talking and I say, hey, Kelly, are you still selling your property? And you'll say yes, right? And do you have any offers on it? No, not at this point in time. Okay. Are you looking for a cash offer or conventional? Okay, well, I'm looking for cash or conventional. Okay, let me ask you this, Kelly. If you're not able to get any of those, would you be open to some creative financing, such as carrying the papers on the note? So I give you a down payment and then you carry it at a certain interest rate for a certain amount of time. Would you be open to that? Well, I don't know if I'd be willing to do that. Okay. Would you be open to us just taking over the payments on your mortgage and taking over the payments on the mortgage for you and taking over that loan if we were able to give you a certain amount of money up front for that? Well, yeah, I might. So, and then let's flip that script, right? Okay, so you're not interested in, so if you can't get a cash offer, you can't get a conventional offer, are you open to owner carry or sub 2? Right. So if you see the difference in those two, like if you start jumping into owner financing or sub 2, then they're going to feel like, whoa, this guy knows way more than me. He's going to like, I don't feel comfortable right now. Right.
Yeah.
But if you start breaking it down, like, are you interested in creative financing, such as, would you be willing to carry the papers if I gave you a certain amount of money down? You gave me a certain interest rate, and we went through the process like that. Well, what do you mean exactly? Right. So, because what I've learned is the second you throw out owner financing, they're like, well, what do you mean? Like, that just kind of scares them. The second you throw out sub 2, I mean, I think you're dead in the water, to be completely honest with that.
Yep.
So, yeah. So you just want to break it down as much as you can.
Love
And the
it.
best thing to do is like go into Google, read about what is owner financing, right? And then take some of those notes down, break it down the way you would want to articulate it, which I'll help you, and I'll get some of those bullet points down for you. And then when it comes to sub 2, do the same thing, read about it, and then make it super simple so that you understand it, because you're obviously learning about this as well, right? Which is
Yep.
perfect, because if you're learning about it, then for you to convey it to somebody in a way that you understand, especially with you being more of a detail oriented person, you're going to be able to break that down piece by piece by piece. So instead of handing somebody an entire pizza that's not cut, which is basically what you're doing when you say sub 2, you're going to cut 20 slices of pizza, right? And then you're going to say, here's a little piece of pizza here, here's a little pizza there, and eventually they're going to be satiated with the information or pizza, right? And they're going to be full, and then they're going to understand what you're doing, what you're saying. So
That's awesome. I love it.
yeah, it's pretty easy. Like, not everybody's going to pick up all at once. Like, it's not as daunting as everybody thinks. So
And the intention you go, like whenever I'm going into something new, like last night, I was just visioning me doing these calls in the morning.
yeah,
And it's just that intention beforehand, like truly wanting to connect and help the person the best I can. If I don't know something, or I need to ask you a question, hey,
Yeah.
I'll call you back with that answer. I don't know.
Yep. And I think that's great. I don't know that, but I will find it out for you, right? So you want to give them as much as you can.
And that's how I'll learn through the whole
Yes.
process.
Exactly. Yep.
And I'm good to go.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I'm good to go. I am set. This was super helpful, and I'm going to get to it.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Kelly. Text
Yeah.
me with any questions. Okay.